G'day and welcome to a special edition of Gatekeeper Media's podcast, where you're going to hear three Aussie disc golfers talk about all things Pro Tour. My name is Paddy Robinson and I'm joined by Andrew Ferguson and Tim Bowen. Together, we make up the Tee Off podcast. You may have heard the three of us last year providing commentary for Gatekeeper Media on all the Australian major disc golf events. How are you fellas?
Mate, stoked to be here. I can't believe the Gatekeeper's letting more Aussies on the airwaves.
Yeah, I think they've made a huge mistake.
Scary proposition. Scary proposition.
I think they just like how we say g'day.
I think so.
Disc golf.
Yep.
Brody Smith. Yeah. All that stuff. Derek. But no, as we said, we're here to talk about Pro Tour because we, from across the pond, we live and breathe this as much as we can. We get up early.
5 a.m. to watch
5 a.m.
the first event on the Pro Tour, which was, of course, the chess.com Invitational.
Yeah. Well, our kids come in and wake us up and then we flick it on.
Yeah, it's by default. We got no choice.
Boys, why is it called Invitational? Was it invite only?
I didn't get an invite.
No.
What's going on there?
Sorry, Ferg.
Come on, Paul.
No, so this was presented by Discraft. Let's jump straight into it, shall we? The first event on the Pro Tour went down in Florida, so no longer Vegas.
Yeah.
Which is interesting in itself.
Big move. I like it, though.
This was on the Olympus Disc Golf Course, owned by Dylan Cease and Paul Macbeth. And boys, the course, I need to just lead with this. The course was bloody amazing.
Yeah. I actually like the name of it too, like Olympus.
Yeah.
Disc golf. Yeah.
It's definitely got Paul Macbeth's kind of like, the Athena, the Anax.
The Zeus.
Yeah, it's got that kind
Very
of like
Greek.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. It's a belter of a course, isn't it?
Yeah. Hasn't got tickets at all. Hasn't got tickets at all.
No, but the course was insane. And we're comparing this to Vegas, which was like, everyone's excited. The first stop on the tour. And it's a bit of a bland opening, quite open, very windy. And now
cold.
We've gone to...
windy, cold, boring to watch.
And now we're in the swamp. We're in Florida swamp, and we've got beautiful elevation, a very highly technical course. I think Paul Macbeth and Dylan, I don't know how much say he had in the design, but they hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
There's a baseball reference.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Very, very highly technical course. Saw a lot of very interesting shot shapes thrown. A lot of throwing up big cliff faces.
I mean, how nuts was that one where I can't remember what hole it is. Is it like 12 or something where it's up right up the cliff face, and they've got to land the disc perfectly on the edge, have it finish quickly to be not on the actual green. I reckon that was such a cool hole design. I do not want to play that hole.
The cameras didn't do it justice either.
Yeah.
Every pro player seemed to post a picture of them throwing that hole on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I think it just looks a lot... it doesn't look easy, but it doesn't look as hard as it actually is in reality when you're watching it through a camera lens.
Exactly.
It's a big carry, and to get the... not hit anything,
tight
to land up there on the shelf, very impressive.
You can totally see why Paul and Dylan snapped up that property and made it into what looks like a bit of a mecca of disc golf.
Yeah. And they've got another one. They're working on another course that will hopefully feature on the Pro Tour as early as next year.
Cool. What's that course going to be called?
Medusa. I don't know.
Not a bad name. A few other stats about the tourney. 155 players, 112 in MPO, 43 in FPO, and the pro purse was 91k, if you don't mind.
Pretty handy.
Now, boys, where do we want to start? MPO or FPO?
Well, I think I want to start. Why is it chess.com?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
A little bit of detail. So the chess.com boys are big disc golfers, and they basically sponsored the comp. Of course, there's, they want some more flow to come back through their channels and more people involved in chess, but also they just wanted to give back to the disc golf community because they know what it's like to be a niche sport in chess, struggling to get sponsorships themselves. So they wanted to kick back and good on them.
Aren't those all those dudes multi-millionaires?
Oh, chess is massive.
Yeah.
Chess is huge. Yeah. And I'd never heard of Magnus Carlsen. Just going to put my hand up and say never heard of him. Magnus Carlsen, the best chess player ever, attended the event.
He looks so cool. What a rock star. Did you see him?
He looks like a dreamboat.
Oh.
Getting around a bit of like the long hair going and...
If I saw him in person, I'd blush.
Yeah.
That's not what I thought a chess master would look like. No. But I have since watched a lot of chess. So well done on the sponsorship. It certainly worked. I've been on YouTube trawling through a lot of old chess.
Yeah.
Very interesting stuff.
Okay.
Very
I have not.
And actually, did you see? I know Disc Golf Pro Tour. They released a video of I think here we go. Eric Albest. He's a CEO of chess, teeing off, throwing the first throw, which is kind of nice. But bit of a baseball kind of like relationship there. But yeah. Anyway, the guy can throw. He's all right.
Yeah, I think I saw this video. He gives me some strong like 1970s, 1980s kind of vibes, like just with the style. But that thing came out rock solid.
Absolutely.
No wobble. Yeah, I wonder what he's throwing as well.
I think it was a condor.
A condor?
Old school.
Actually, well, there's probably a few discs named after chess pieces, actually. Hey, king, queen, knight. Is there a bishop? I don't know if there's a bishop.
Paddy, there's no chess piece called the Condor, if you're wondering.
Condor? Yeah.
It's,
Pawn?
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh, there you go.
it was great to see him turn out for the event, though. And yeah, let's just kick things off, shall we? Jump straight into MPO because we had a not a surprise winner, but a fresh winner in Anthony Barella getting the chocolates.
I've seen like his little 12-year-old, MJ, 13, 14 photos just banging around.
He was still 7'8" then.
Yeah.
So.
But no, it's like everyone's talking about it because it's the biggest win he's had in a long time. He's got the monkey off the back, hey?
Well, he said it himself. He said he's been waiting for this his whole life. All the losses have been worth it.
Yeah.
And thank you to Disc Golf Network, who kindly replayed over and over the European Open meltdown that AB had, unfortunately, on the bunker hole. If you haven't seen it, just tune into any Disc Golf Network coverage. Whenever AB's on a lead card, it'll pop up, no doubt. It's good to see the man get a big win.
Yeah. And, you think maybe, the first event of the year, maybe it wouldn't be as, a stacked field.
Oh,
all the names were there.
Everyone was there.
Every single one of them.
Just listen to the top four here. We've got Ricky Wysocki in second place, Aaron Gossage, Gannon Burr. Following that, Kyle Klein, Isaac Robinson, and Matty O. So some big names there.
Yeah, and Ricky Wysocki second by one stroke.
It was huge. Actually,
he was on the hunt.
Was he ever? I mean, going into the 17th hole of the final round, AB had a 4-shot lead. And, it was kind of like he just needed to par his way to a victory there. Hole 17, Ricky tees off first and actually goes OB. And all of a sudden, AB's like, yeah, this should be relatively straightforward from here. He goes OB himself. And then the second shot that Ricky threw on hole 17 just smacked of like the best scramble shot you're going to see all year. Like it kind of reminded me of the Scott Stokely Big Money Skins win.
Yeah.
Just that flex forehand through the reeds, chose a line that was super precarious, but it was the only way he was going to get up and down. He put it to 60 feet. And then, of course, in true Ricky Wysocki Scramble King style, cans a 60-footer.
Yeah.
Just mental stuff. And you could tell it rattled AB because he proceeded to whiff a 25-footer and drop in a double bogey.
Mate, what a way to start the year.
It was huge.
Ricky dropping bombs and almost winning events and looking healthy.
Yeah.
Looking healthy.
He does, doesn't he?
You could just see the eyebrows get raised once the deficit went to 2 shots going into 18 because 18, it's not a bunker hole, but it may well have been, which is with OB everywhere, a very tricky technical hole to finish. But AB clutched it up and was able to drop in lay up for a par and take the win that way. So it was awesome to see AB get that win there.
I'm really keen to see how he goes for the rest of the season now, just getting that, as you said, the monkey off the back, and now we can kind of maybe relax into it a little bit. And once you know how to win, often that means more winning. You kind of
what's that pressure?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So
you don't have to. He's not maybe having that expectation of himself, or he's not reliving European Open. You've done this before, you've stuffed it before. No, you've won it now. So, yeah, it should be good.
I think we're seeing the emergence of a pretty dominant force in the sport, to be honest, because we all know he's got the physical attributes. He's quite a tall guy. He's not that small, skinny kid that we always see now. He's quite a built unit.
Oh, it's huge.
He throws further than anyone, particularly, down hard lines. Does find a lot of OB. He needs to sort of rein that in a little bit, but his putting's immaculate. So this could be the emergence of a real dominant force this season.
Did you see the footage of him throwing over 700 feet?
Oh, mental.
Yeah, with the drone, following. Yeah, but that drive was so... He was like right down the avenue. It was so controlled as well. Just 700 as simple as that.
Hectic.
Unreal.
The other guys that really impressed me, of course, Ricky Wysocki. I think we're in for a big year from Rick. Aaron Gossage. I mean, he's been very close all of last year.
Yeah.
Top 3 at chess.com was a huge start for Gossage. Did miss a few putts. That's still part of his game. But very impressed with his backhands. And he's known for his forehands, but I feel like his backhand is... one of the top 10 on the tour at the moment.
Yep. Gannon coming in 4th with the new bag. That's
solid.
pretty solid. Yeah. I mean, shot... Now, Gossage actually finished that 3rd round and shot course record with an 8 down, which I think was rated at 1060.
That's huge.
Pretty solid. That's the way you want to finish an event. But, I mean, Gannon, he's, recently Discmania. He's, for the event, he was 1044.
He birdied...
super solid.
He birdied 6 of the last 8 holes to jump up to 4th place, Gannon.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny. First comment on Gannon Burr's recap post on Instagram was from Kyle Klein, and it just said, "No way you beat me." And I felt for Kyle Klein. Kyle was playing immaculate disc golf.
Yeah.
And I reckon he hit the very tip of the tray on about 6 putts in the last round.
What about that? Was it the second round that roll away?
No, it was last round.
That was the last round. Oh, goodness me. That was shocking.
Same hole that Nicholas Antela had won. And have you had those rounds where you just continually 1 centimetre, 1 inch for our US listeners, off getting it in, hitting that top part of the tray? Jesus, nothing more frustrating. He handled it well, though.
I'd rather send it straight into the band than hit the tray.
Maybe a shout out as well to Joey Buckets.
Oh, Joey Buckets.
Absolutely repping the old Casterplast discs, and I mean, he certainly, especially first couple of rounds, he was just playing really solidly, and obviously finished in 9th position.
His first round was awesome. He hit 12 out of 12 C1X putts, and just a bit of a highlight machine, Joey Buckets.
I mean, another little thing I'm liking to see is the European players coming over so early, Jesse Nicholas Antilla, Vino Makala, there's a few of those boys that are sitting in that top 20, and maybe in the past couple of years we haven't seen them come over this early. So hopefully that means they're getting a bit more cash or getting a bit more of a push. They've got their visas all worked out, and we're going to see them on the Pro Tour more often.
Apparently they're all just marrying Americans.
Yeah, you're right. Getting that visa sorted. But you touched on Nieminen. I don't know how to say it either.
It's Jesse Alphabet.
He finished in a tie for 9th. So he's definitely got a very high ceiling, a very high skill ceiling. Good to see him play a few more US majors, that's for sure.
Actually, Jakob was there too. He was a bit more down the list, but Jakob was there.
Now, before we have a look at the FPO side of things, Paddy, I did hear one interesting snippet that was on Brodie Smith and Uli's Tour Life podcast.
Yep.
They were chatting to AB and asking, who is the scariest player to be chasing you down?
Yeah. All right, let's have a quick listen.
Person than Ricky Wysocki chasing you down?
Oh, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Oh, I got you.
Not really, honestly. It's Ricky and Macbeth are obviously the 2 most intimidating disc golfers ever, but Ricky's a lot more vocal when he's playing with you. He's just in your face with the fist bumps and the claps, and when he screamed "yeah" at me on hole 17, that was pretty scary, man. And I was like, wow, this is really happening. I've seen this so many times, and it's happening to me right now. But
did you feel like that was directed towards you though, and not kind of directed towards the main group?
I mean, I don't know, honestly. I was the closest one to him, so I heard it the loudest. I wasn't looking at him. I already knew he was going to make it. I just had a feeling that it was going in. I mean, it's Ricky Wysocki. Every putt he went up to, I expected him to drill it. But yeah, when he yelled that, it was pretty intimidating. And it made me whiff that 25-footer.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting insight. Have you ever been in that tourney where you just know your opponent's going to make a putt? It's a horrible feeling.
Yeah.
You're like, he's going to bloody...
I mean, I'm sure that's
especially when it's your best mate.
Yeah. I'm sure that's how you feel every time we play together, Tim. But.
I'm pretty comfortable with you putting on the tourneys, Paddy.
I think AB was quite frank there. I do think he believes that, Ricky did swing around and, look him down and give him the old, bit of intimidation there. But
I
don't
mean,
know.
Ricky's 6'4" and hyped, and he has a lot of fans. Like when he hits a big putt, he's got the raptor legs going. That is gonna, send some chills.
I got to admit though, like I've hit some putts that that have meant a lot, and I've done the yell and that sort of thing. I haven't really meant that at anyone else. It's just like it's been more for me. But I mean, I kind of like, even if he did or if he didn't, whatever, I kind of like that. That's his celebration. I want to see more of that. Like, I want to see Bazooka Tom doing his like bazooka stuff, like more celebrations. It looks great.
I don't believe for a second he turned around and eyed someone down. I just don't think that's in Ricky's nature. He's just super excited. I think that's
100%.
It's just like any other sport. You're watching tennis or whatever. Those, they get excited. They look around and Leighton Hewitt down under. He's got the old come on, So
Yeah, I mean, I'll still celebrate when Tim misses, but
Ice cold, Paddy. But shout out again to Anthony Barella getting a big win. Very keen to see how he goes this season. Let's move over to the FPO side of things, where we had an equally surprising winner in Evelina Salonen. Monkeys off her back as well.
Huge.
Massive win.
The monkey being putting. Yeah.
Mate, she's good. She's getting good. We saw glimpses of it at the end of last season, and it was kind of like, are all those 3 putts a thing of the past? I say 3 putts, I mean 5, 6, 7 putts. We've all seen clips of Evelina meltdowns. Oh boy.
Oh mate, it helps me go to sleep at night.
They're so hard to watch, but I also love watching them.
Yeah.
It's very unique compilations.
Yeah. It makes me feel like it humanizes my heroes.
Now listen to some of these putting stats. So 89% in the final round, which is unheard of for Evelina.
Yeah.
And I think she only missed a couple of C1Xs in the first couple of rounds as well.
have you got the stats on what she averaged for the tournament?
Round 1, I mean, her round 1 percentage was 25%, but she only hit 1 out of 4 C1X, then 64% and 89%. So I don't think she's anywhere near the top of the leaderboards in C1X, but she doesn't need to be, because her tee to green is a stat that she's had a monopoly on for the last few seasons. She just needs to not be the worst putter, and she was pretty close to the worst putter in the field the last couple of seasons.
Well, it's good to see her iron that out. I mean, look at that final round, 8 down.
8 down.
She's
Huge. 10.31. She actually averaged 10.12 for the event.
Yeah.
I mean, she was 2 strokes down going to the 2 strokes down going to the final round, and ended up winning by 5.
Yeah, that is huge. And
Unreal.
she, as I mentioned, averaged 10.12, which a little bit of a stat. The only person to average more than 10.10 in her career was KT. She's done it once for a tourney.
That's sick.
So 10.12 is huge. And she, of course, got the win in front of Ella Hansen, who had a very good tourney, bar a couple of holes in that last round. Missy Gannon, Holland Hanley, and Henna Bloomross rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, see Nat Ryan snuck into 6th there, and Owen Scoggins is in the top 10 too. And actually, looking at 10th there, Paige Pierce.
Oh,
she's back. The ankle must be in some kind of state to be able to play disc golf again. And it's good to see her back and playing and competing.
Yeah, tied for 10th though. Like, not really the Paige Pierce expectations that we all have, but hopefully it's the start of something good. She didn't look injured out there throwing, but she didn't look like the old Paige Pierce that we all
man, but she's had months off with that broken foot. We all saw her getting around on that mobility scooter thing for a couple of rounds, but it's good to see her back out.
Absolutely.
I expect to see big things from her this year. She's had her wedding. She's had her honeymoon period. Now it's time to knuckle down and start winning tournaments again.
She's a long way behind the 8 ball, mate. Evelina, if Evelina can putt, and she doesn't need to be the best putter. I think she didn't hit a single C2 putt this entire tournament, Evelina. But she just didn't have those meltdown putts.
Yeah.
As long as she putts like average to above average, her driving is good enough to get her the chocolates. I can't wait for KT to come back.
I was going to say.
See if
back from
Evelina can push
Waco?
her.
Do we know if she's playing that or not?
I'd have to check to see if she's on the list for
That'll be
Waco.
good, though. I look forward to seeing that battle.
Yeah. I think though, like what you said about her throwing, and she's got the power. I think that was a massive, massive factor in this course design, though. I've read a couple of comments on Paul saying that, he's designed the course to make sure that it utilizes most of the parts of everyone's game, but having the ability to not, to throw that lower, powerful shot that is accurate. And that really came through with, AB. We know he's got the power, but he's got the skills. Ricky, we know his scramble rate is insane, and he can do that as well. So it's why you're seeing, and Evelina has one of the biggest arms in the FPO. Even Ella Hansen, Missy Gannon, like they've all got that game to them. So they all played really well.
Ella was playing good. She just had a couple of holes where she not only made a bit of an errant drive, she made like the worst possible mistake you could. Pretty early in that final round, she was finding some trouble. So
Yeah.
I think it's pretty easy to do out there. The rough was rough.
yeah.
So, I mean, down here in Australia, we don't really get... Well, a lot of our courses aren't as rough, off the fairway and things like that as they are in the US, and that course just had that in spades.
Yeah.
Mate, they're in a swamp. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Love that stuff. And not there was OB, but sensible OB. So it was good to see people get into some weird spots and have to find their way out of it.
It's
back
good
to your
to-
KT is back for Waco.
Ooh,
so
okay, there we go.
And Evelina, she's 7th ranked in FPO. So definitely not the favourite, but
Is
she
KT
may well
actually
be.
is KT driving the Porsche through the ocean? Is she going to just? Is it one that has is it like a hybrid bloody?
I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be good. Just rolls in.
Mate, I love it. Most players are just like, sick, I've got a chalk bag sponsor. Look at this chalk. KT rolls around in a Porsche. Just next level, isn't it?
I am open to chalk bag sponsorships. If anyone wants to contact the pod, appreciate it. Well, yeah, I think, is there anything else that want to talk about with, I think, what did you think of the coverage? Disc Golf Network. I know there's been a bit of talk on the off season, and there's been a lot of changes. We've lost, UDisc Live, and Statmando's gone to the PDGA, all this sort of stuff, and that's been all combined into, this new DGN. What do we think?
I think some of the coverage did get a little bit patchy here and there, and obviously
Round 2, bit of a blackout, no good.
Yeah, a bit pixelated here and there, but I do appreciate as well that they are. I think they were in a pretty remote-ish kind of area with limited,
Cellular access, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Actually, I heard that sometimes they ask players and spectators to turn on flight mode on their phone.
yeah, that's hilarious. I didn't know that would actually impact
Just to save the
rest of
bandwidth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bandwidth?
This seems like Australian problems, not American problems.
Sorry, Ezra, you can't post those toilet selfies. Of the abs.
We're still using dial-up down here.
Yeah.
If my wife has to make a phone call, I've got to turn my mobile off and take the internet off. And
No, the coverage was okay though, and they're making some changes. Like obviously, the main bugbear was when people watching it on their phone, they couldn't swipe out of the app because that would stop the coverage. And of course, we're swiping out of the app, check scores and all that sort of stuff, reply to messages.
Yeah, right.
They changed that. Like with the most recent update, you could actually hit the picture-in-picture icon.
Okay.
But no one does that. We want to swipe out. So hopefully, Disc Golf Network, please explain.
get
Sort
on
that
it,
out.
mate. Come on.
But it's good to see that they're listening to feedback and they're hopefully going to improve.
I think there's a few wrinkles to iron out, but my gripe, I couldn't
Sort it out though, because
I
we're
couldn't
waking
log
up
in.
we're waking up at 5 a.m. to watch this stuff. Make sure it's worth it. Now, one thing I did want to mention that I forgot to have a look at on the FPO side of things was Katrina Allen. There was a lot of speculation as to, are we going to see the old dominant Katrina Allen that was always sort of on the podium or at least in the top 10 come out in 2024? And the answer so far is no. She finished well down the list. But I think we have a bit of a reason for that.
Well, she's been dominating in other areas, hey?
We saw on the socials her release today. Her and Austin Hannum are expecting a bub. So
I didn't actually mean it but yes, they're pregnant. Congrats. That's awesome. We need more disc golfer babies out there to keep the future bright.
Get breeding.
But 26th, it is disappointing to see, her not perform to the standard that we know she can perform to.
And it's not just because, whatever. Obviously, she's I guess 12 weeks pregnant or thereabouts. But she did, she's been a little bit off the pace in the last couple of years.
Little bit.
Yeah.
She hasn't finished in the top 10 since like the midway point of last year.
Okay, she's been way off.
And an FPO, that's she has all the skill set to be not only in the top 10 consistently, but challenging the leaders.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Her and Paige Pierce. I know Paige has been a little injured, but kind of feels like they've been put off by the pressure of KT a little bit, and also considerable significant life changes have sort of got in the way.
They've been dominant for so many years. Like, it's hard to stay, like, passionate for it for that amount of time. Like, I think it'll come around a bit, but yeah, we'll see.
Let's see.
Oh, well, she'll be out of Worlds too, actually, won't she, with pregnancy?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be I was going to say disruptive year. It's going to be a fantastic year.
Oh,
for
yeah,
them,
super exciting.
which is really, really cool. But
Anyway, just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah.
Now, you alluded to the fact that there's no more UDIS Live, Paddy.
Yeah.
And more importantly, there's no more Grip 6, Pick 6. I
Mate.
can't win a free belt anymore.
this is rubbish.
I was never close, ever close. But man, it was fun.
Good fun.
We
And-
love Grip 6.
And we love it so much that our boys club has actually taken it one step further, and we do a Grip 6, Pick 6 style draft each week. There's 7 of us in the club, and I just want to point out, I had the first pick, and I went Calvin Heimberg straight away.
Yeah.
Didn't even think didn't think twice.
Mate,
I'm
great
like,
pick.
Florida native. He's the best player in the world, player of the year.
Yeah.
Always starts well. And when was the last time you didn't see Calvin in the top 10, let alone the top 5?
Oh, mate, I was so jealous.
Mate, he cooked me. He was 15 shots off the pace, and after round 1, I was thinking, oh my God, what have I done?
I believe he's pregnant.
With a broken ankle. Yeah.
Oh, man. But, man, pick one. What a curse. But I just want to point out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ricky Wysocki went pick 7, and AB went pick 10.
Yeah, who got Ricky Wysocki?
Yeah, you got him real cheap. If I didn't pick Calvin.
Hey, who picked AB?
Yeah.
Yeah, good work, Fergus.
Thanks for coming.
Solid,
Thanks
mate.
for coming.
Solid. Actually,
I just
Matty, you got Matty O and AB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
As your
had-
first 2 picks.
I think, what did
Solid.
I have? 6 in the top 12 or something like that? I forget. No, not 6. Sorry, 5 in the top 12.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, boys.
Do love our draft each week and highly recommend you get around that. But I'd just like to point out that these are the picks that went in front of Ricky and AB. Went Calvin, Gannon, Simon. I think that was a bit of an early pick for Simon. Isaac Robinson, Matty O, Paul Macbeth, then Ricky, then Corey Ellis, DNF'd on you, Paddy. That was rough. You're just enjoying New Zealand too much, Corey.
Corey.
He missed his flight.
Corey, mate. You let me down. You really let me down. I don't care if you're jet lagged. Get out there.
It wasn't jet lagged. He just stayed in New Zealand.
Well, fair enough. I wouldn't mind staying in New Zealand.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Then Cole Radalin was taken before AB. Very, very interesting stuff.
Actually, who was my sub?
Jeremy Collin, Big Germ.
Big Germ actually played better than James Conrad. So good on you, Big Germ.
I think
He was my sub.
Mr. Eric Oakley was my sub. I probably dodged a bullet there.
No, he played well.
Did he come back? Oh, after the first round. I think
Yeah, he played real well.
Man, there's I've got a bit of a list of players that are kind of fallen off the pace a little bit. Obviously, it's easy to spot the players that are emerging, Gannon Burrs, Calvin Heimberg, AB, those sorts of players, Isaac Robinson. But the ones that have fallen back a little bit, these are the ones like James Conrad,
Yep.
Kevin Jones, Chris Clemens. He recently changed his sponsor to Discraft. Be interesting to see if he can perk up a little bit. Yeah, are there any other players that you'd sort of put on that list? I know, Uli and Big Germ are kind of quite a bit older and maybe falling off the pace a little bit. But I saw there was a picture of Paul Macbeth congratulating AB on the win at chess.com. And the harsh Redditors out there were just like, look forward to your commentary career, Paul Macbeth. Just calling the end of the GOAT after one injury-riddled start to the season. Although that was a little harsh.
That photo as well. He's there, holding
Holding his kid.
Holding his bubba.
what?
Little Pablo.
Like 6-month-old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Bit harsh, guys. Bit harsh.
Yeah.
But anyone else that are kind of in that sort of list, maybe Dickerson as well. He's certainly fallen off the pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dixon. LeCastro.
Yeah, Nico.
Nah, he's been trash for years.
Okay, fair enough. I was just being nice.
No, joking. Look, like your double G's, even Ben Callaway, like I feel like he started to peak a little bit and then he's kind of dropped off. Yeah, it's a tricky one. Actually, and on the converse of that, Matt Bell, he had a
perler.
He had an absolute perler.
Didn't think this would be his type of course either. Like very long. I mean, it is. He's a very good wooded player, but
Yeah,
I'd be interested to know if it was just his putts that got it done. But yeah,
Anyway.
he surprised me. Didn't expect him to perform so well. But anyway, we've
I was going to say one name on the list that wasn't there, Joel Freeman.
yeah, where was he?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I did see on
he
his
was
socials that
probably
he
doing
was-
some a cappella thing or something. Who knows?
Mate, that was cringe. If I'm being honest, that was straight up cringe.
I did see in his socials that he was.
Wholehearted Freeman.
Oh god. No. Look, I think he's coming back, and I think he's preparing for a big year. He's done some training in terms of his mental game. I think he's hired a bit of a coach or someone in that space to kind of help him out a little bit. And yeah, there was quite an honest post on his socials, which I kind of thought was quite good. So I'll be kind of keen to see what he does this year because he's always hanging around.
Oh, he's a good player.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Absolutely.
a great player. He's not. I'm not putting him in the boat of the one that's off the pace. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
When he comes back as well, I'll be interested to see what he does.
Yeah.
Well, he's not on the list for Waco, which is, of course, the next stop on the event.
I think he had
on the calendar.
I think he just had a bubber as well. I have a
Oh,
feeling.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No?
No. I don't think he did.
I thought he bought a new shirt. To be honest, can we just say who won and lost the Grippies draft for chess.com?
No one
Should we
knows
do
these.
that?
No one.
I don't
knows
care.
these people.
I just want to say who lost.
Oh, Shawnee. But
There we go.
there you go. No, you're spot on.
Joel Freeman. Meet Sheridan Lane Freeman there on February 8th. Well, that's when he
what's
posted
the
it.
name? What's it?
Sheridan Lane
Sheridan.
Freeman.
Well, congrats to
Oh.
Joel
Yeah.
Freeman.
So I think maybe he might be having a bit of a baby moon.
Yeah, fair
I'm,
enough.
going on.
I'm striking the texter through his name for my
Oh,
Group 6 picks.
Can't wait for his commentary career.
I'm putting the texter mark through his name. I'm not picking him. It's hard to play when you've had no sleep. It's certainly hard to play.
Yep. I've got a 6-year-old. I'm still struggling. So
Now, I want to move on to Waco, Texas, and have a look at the field. We need to get some tips as well. So, first of all, looking at Waco, the last 3 winners. In MPO, we had Kyle Klein, Paul Macbeth, and Nico LaCastro back in 2021. And FPO, we had Kristen Tatar, Valerie Mandahanu, and Kona Panis had a win
Ooh.
back in 2021.
Yeah, right.
Looking at the field, who are we liking for this one, boys? This is, of course, in Texas.
Yeah, I like Ricky in Texas.
I mean, it's kind of, that's a bit of a stereotype or like a bit of a bias there. He doesn't actually play that great. I think he finished 11th and 12th at this one.
All right.
But you going with Ricky?
Yeah, I'd probably say Ricky, although, there's a lot of these boys screaming at me. Who's
Yep.
going to, AB. Oh, Joel Freeman is on the list.
Oh, he's on the list.
Yeah.
there you go. Baby moon's over. Back to work.
Yeah.
There you go.
Actually, I was a little surprised with James Proctor's opening, tournament as well. I know he's been putting in a bit of work. He was 14 strokes off the pace.
Joel Freeman is there.
I'm considering he's throwing the new bag and the whole thing. I think Gannon Burr. I was quite surprised with his performance last week, and I don't know. I think maybe he might be a bit of a chance to take out a win.
Yeah. Oh,
I think I like... Oh, it's a toss-up between Isaac Robinson and Kyle Klein for me. And I think given Klein won it last year, I'm going to have to go with Klein. He
Yeah.
looked very, very solid at chess.com.
Yeah.
And he was a whisker off, winning with some of those putts that just could have gone in for him.
Nicholas Antilla too. Jeez, man. It's tough. That is really, really tough. Like,
What about an absolute smoky? Someone
Smoky?
from outside
yeah.
the usual crop of players.
Is Corey Ellis in the usual crop?
I mean, he's top 20.
I mean, he's a European Open winner, so
Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, is Ezra Robinson a smoky these days?
Yeah, I'd say he's
10.
smoky.
He's 1037 rated.
Yeah.
Well, he's my smoky. I'm going with Ezra.
Ezra? All right. I'll say Cole Redalen.
Yep.
Yep. He's my smoky.
Got a smoky in mind, Fergs?
I might go a little bit of a European flavour. Maybe. What about a Vino?
Vino?
Is he outside the He's not really,
Yeah.
you know.
No.
Would you take him?
I wouldn't take him, but you can take him. I think he's a decent tip.
Well, a little bit further down there, maybe Jakub.
Jakub
Jakub
Samrod.
Samrod.
Yeah.
Jakob.
Yep.
All right. What about in the old FPO?
I mean,
It's hard to go past
Yeah.
KT.
it is hard to go past KT. I like Owen at these courses as well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Owen might do well this one. I can't see her beating KT though. I mean, I want to back Evelina after the performance she just showed, but
Do it.
yeah, why not? I'm going to back Evelina back to back.
Back to back.
She's confident now. 20 feet doesn't seem like 50 feet.
You reckon Hayley King's going to finish a comp?
Oh, well, not if someone does a wee on the course.
Okay.
Oh, that was very interesting. That
Yeah.
DNF due to injury, but also
Yeah.
had a crack at someone for urinating out on the course.
Yeah.
Strange one. Very
That's
strange.
just par for the course. You're in the bush.
Yeah.
It's called a bushwee down under. I don't know what you guys call it in the States. But don't ever have kids, Hayley, because a bushwee. Very, very
commonplace. Yeah, exactly. And then the kids' way as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, KT can't go past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll say.
I hope she drives the
Missy.
Porsche right up to hole one, just
Yeah.
parks it.
I'm going to say Missy and Smokey. Valerie's on the list. That's kind of cool. Maybe Ella. Is Ella a Smokey?
I was about to ask, is Paige Pierce a smoky?
Yeah, she's definitely Smokey at the moment.
Well, I don't think she's going to win, so I don't want to pick her.
Yeah.
Let's go Smokey. I mean, Henna. Henna Bloomross.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we're not
Solid.
talking Smokey. She's in the top 10
Yeah, she
rating-wise. But I'm going Henna.
That's fair.
Mate, stacked field too.
feel like
Jennifer
I've just-
Allen, Jessica Weiss.
I feel like I've just thrown my pick away there. But why not? She might be inspired by Evelina winning one.
I'll give Jennifer Allen.
There you go. Jen Allen.
nice.
Yeah.
She's pretty much Aussie. That's what we love her down here.
We do love her.
Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps us up, boys, for a bit of a first go at this Aussie perspective on the Pro Tour. Hopefully we'll be back for another one.
Absolutely. The down under perspective. We see it the other way.
And with that, we're off.
Yeah, we're off. Hope you enjoyed it.